In our part, we are talking about the Squire and Yeoman in lines 79 through 117 of Canterbury Tales. The Squire was a good-looking lad. He got all of the ladies and was quite the athlete. He was the son of the knight and around 16 to 18 years old. He would seem to be a boy since he is only 17 to 18, but he was strong like a man. They said he had a very masculine body and was very attractive. He was an average height, but was very agile and strong. His height did not seem to deter the ladies, as it said in the book. He would ride a horse and joust very well, just showing how much of an athlete he was. Not only was he very attractive, but also an athlete, kind of like Jordan Borkowski. And he kind of looks like Jordan Borkowski a little bit. He is someone you want to be friends with, saying that he is courageous and very humble. Which, when you're as attractive as the Squire, is a good trait to have, because not everybody that's attractive is courageous and very humble. Line 97, it says, "At night he loved so hotly, without fail." Just showing that the Squire was a dog. He was like Barney from How I Met Your Mother. Barney was a little bit older than the Squire, but they were both quite good with the ladies. Even though he's described as more of a jock, he had a feminine side to him. It said he was embroiled like a flower bed or meadow. This showed that the Squire not only was a jock, but also had a softer side to him. He was the full package, as they said.
Alright, so the yeoman, he was the servant to the mighty knight. Remember, the Squire, he is the son of the knight, but the yeoman, he is the knight's servant. It describes the yeoman as very Robin Hood-like. In lines 104 to 105, they say, "This yeoman wore a coat and hood of green. He had a shear of arrows, bright and keen. You could always find him covered in gear, whether it was a bow and arrow or a dagger. His hair was short, and his face was always brown, and he always spent his time outdoors. One of his main jobs was to protect the knight's forest, making sure no outlaws or any bad guys invaded the land around him. He keeps all of his equipment very clean, and a good example of a yeoman today would be Ron Weasley in the Harry Potter series. Even though Ron was never the center of the quest, he was always needed to help Harry in difficult situations."
That's good. Alright, for all you that weren't paying attention, we're going to recap what we just said. The Squire was a handsome, strong fighter who was the son of the brave knight. He was about 16 to 18 years old and had the qualities of a boy and a man. Since he was only 16, he had the maturity of a 16-year-old, but his body was developed like a man. He was big and strong. Even though very strong and brave, like his father, he still had a feminine side to him. Today, he would be considered like a star quarterback for any high school or college team. He was quite the performer at night, as the book said, and never failed to impress. Now, the yeoman. He was the knight's humble servant, but they were not related in any way. He always kept his equipment clean, such as his bow and arrow,
and he was always spending the majority of his days outdoors. One of his biggest jobs was to protect the forest that the knight owned. He would be compared to a third wheel of a date today. He was there for support, but not in the main action. And that is who the squire and yeoman are.